Hi, this is Jon Cooper, and you're listening to Missin Curfew.
What's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshall in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas. Coming to you from Hall Pass Media, Newport Beach. This is Missin Curfew. Obes, the Updog, and once again, our boys in town, Richie Fella, Brad Richardson. Boys, how we doing? We are recording this show earlier in the week because I'm heading to fucking Pebble Beach, boys. So, we had to do a double dip here because I'm heading to Pebble.
Well, pins and pals, right?
Partners and pals.
Partners and pals.
Defending champion. I almost brought my trophy in.
You did.
I almost brought my trophy in just to show you. Have a peek at it. A nice crystal, Pebble Beach.
Is engraved?
It says first place, low gross is what it said.
Oh, nice. That's usually a low net guy.
No, listen, yeah, I know. I made a couple birdies on the Sunday. I'm not gonna lie, at Spyglass there. The boys came out a little sluggish in the final round, and the par 3, I believe it's one's the par 5, 2's the short par 4, number 3 there at Spyglass. I fucking hit one in, poured it in for 2, and got the boys going. We were a couple back heading into the last round. We ended up winning by, I think, 2 or 3.
So let's just ask you here. What's the blood flow like right now going into a trip like this? Because, the Instagram that goes around, we talked about this way back in the day. Like, most guys need 4 solid golf trips with the year, right? Like, you just are 4 solid golf trips. And leading into the golf trip, I mean, it's the best. It's like you got 4 rounds. You're having some dinners with the boys. You're getting up early. You're putting on some rain pants, but you're marking your balls. You're getting ready to go. Like, what's the blood flow like? You got a half chub or a chub?
Yeah. So listen, I've been lucky enough to be on this trip 2 other times, and both years were Bluebird weekends. Like the last year I went, I didn't even pull out a fucking quarter zip shirt. Like I showed up to the first tee at whatever time and had my golf shirt, my shorts on. It was beautiful. So the forecast is. First couple days are a little dicey. We're gonna have to battle the elements a little bit, but it's obviously an unbelievable crew of, shout out to Todd Pickup and Danny Lane, the guys that invite all the boys, and Brian Gale and Pete Shea and Dennis Shannon, Tom Doherty, Grant Garvers. Fuck, the list goes on and on. Joe Moody, Mike Carpenter, fucking Dave Moore. I mean, it's a fun crew of guys. And Ice Picks old man Todd, he stays right on number 1 there. Actually, the first time I played the tournament, I almost duck hooked one right in his room. I was like, well, at least I can grab a beer over here. I hit the wall, ricocheted back off, but lots of beers being drank, lots of cigars being smoked, and a lot of naps. Early rounds, and then the boys come back, and these boys will have naps anywhere. Somebody will sleep outside on the couch, and the party continues on. But a lot of naps from the boys. I'm not gonna lie, I nap probably day 2 or 3 too, because you're pretty tired after.
I get it.
After boozing and getting
What's the format you working with? 2-man teams, solo?
Yeah, so 4-man, two. What is that called? Two low.
Yeah, 2 ball.
Yeah,
2 ball.
2 ball. There is a net tournament. There is a net flight too, but most of the golfers are good golfers besides me. So we're just in the gross, but it's great.
Some stogies or?
Oh yeah, I'm going to see my guy tomorrow.
You got a green? Are beers free there? Because a round of beers are Pebble.
No, listen.
I don't know Spyglass, but Pebble's like
everything's paid for.
That's nice.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I'll tell you when I realized Todd Pickup's even better guy is. We went to play Cypress Hill. Beecher, who you met the other day. Cypress Point. Sorry, was what I call Cypress Hill.
I like that.
Yeah, Cypress. Good band. Good band. Cypress Point, and Jason Beach wanted to get Evan a thank you gift, right? And he's like, "What do you get the guy that's got everything?" And Beecher's like, "Well, what if I got him on Cypress?" I said, "Well, fuck yeah, that would do it." So we got Cypress lined up for Monday morning at 7. So the day before, I called in some favors from Partners and Pals people, and they got us a tea time at Pebble. And we bought 4 rounds of drinks through the course of 18 holes. How much do you think that was? 4 rounds of whatever we were drinking, vodka.
Each round's probably $200.
Yeah, it's $1,000.
Oh wow,
$1,000 we spent on booze out there. Four times we got drinks. So we all looked at each other like, wow, the Partners Pals. Nice time.
I can, right? Say like you spend $1,000 at a table, right? For you're paying for the real estate. Well, there's no better place to real estate than to have some beers golf. Yeah. But that's fucking expensive. Let's be honest.
Crazy. And
they're not giving golf away these days.
No, and it's crazy. And the pace of play at Pebble during the Partners and Pals is great too, because it's just all the Partners and Pals. That day we played Pebble. It took us 3 hours to play the front 9. which I love Pebble, but 3 hours is still a
Just
bit.
because you're waiting on everyone? Or
Yeah, just because we're waiting.
Well,
on
everyone
them.
takes
Like,
photos on 7, and they're fucking hacking
Buddy,
balls in the fucking room.
they pump tea times out there like every 10 minutes, all day, every day.
fucking $800 a round.
Boom, 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 boom. Fucking, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Well, that's why all these partners and pals go there with a big smile on their face because they know how much money they got coming back their way. Yeah, so, but Pebble to me, I've been to Pine Valley with you, Brandon, but Pebble to me is the ultimate place. Like, do you love it as well? Or?
I love it. When you get a good day at Pebble, there's nothing better.
Yeah. Because it can get ugly on you.
Well, it surely can. But walking up 18 at Pebble is like the best feeling in the world. Isn't that a nice day?
And then going right to the tap room.
Yeah.
How good's that tap room?
No, it's great. It's been a minute since I've been there, but to answer your question, like Bandon Dunes is so fucking great. Just for the location's tricky to get to, and it's not super cheap, but it is a golf mecca. You have fucking 5 golf courses there that are all sick. Yeah, they need a couple restaurants, but the lodging is great and super inexpensive for the lodging. Yeah, everything else can be,
But it's like you're in there, you're golfing, that's it. You're not gonna do.
And we went during COVID too, so even the one bar wasn't open down there. But like,
no, we went this year. It's tits.
Oh, you went again?
I went with the Blues boys.
Oh, that's right.
Bortzy lined up a pretty good event this year right before their training camp, and it was awesome. Bosey was there, fucking stick, took all my cash. But it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, you stay right there in these like cottages, 4-bedroom cottages, fire pits out back. It's like it's a great guy. Like smoke cigars, drink whiskey. It's a great guy's trip.
That's awesome.
But the weather can fucking turn on you there too, bud. I didn't have rain gear back then. I got rain gear now. I didn't have rain gear in the fucking one morning. We wake up at fucking 7 to play, and it is just downpouring. I'm like, boys, are we really playing in this? Like, we're really going out here to do this? And all I had was a rain jacket. I came off that course. Everything was fucking sopping wet except for my underwear. And I'm sitting in the grill after it. I got my pants undone. And if the girl doesn't spill my beer right on my underwear, she's like, oh, sorry about that. I'm like, that's all right. That was the last piece of dry shit I had on. So fuck it. You might as well drop it right on there. I'm like, grab me a couple of shots of Jameson. But the fucking weather can turn, same as Pebble, can turn quick on you. Next thing you know, you're battling the elements.
And you're there, you got to play it. You battle through it, and that's what you do.
Well, we could have waited and just sat in the pub and played in the afternoon. Like it was supposed to clear up, but you're one of those guys like, let's play no matter what.
Yeah, if I'm on a golf trip, you're dialing in and playing. Like, those Irish trips you go, like you can't even ball won't even stay on the tee sometimes you're out there playing. But I don't know, it's part of the experience. With those courses.
We got lucky in Ireland with weather. We only had a couple days where it was blowing at Tralee, but we didn't get much rain. I don't mind the wind. It's the rain that gets me.
The one day at fucking that Old Head.
Yeah.
Where it was perfect for the whole front nine. It was the nicest day they had all summer. We get to the back, this fog came in. You cannot see. You cannot see the camera right there.
How crazy is that there? And you're on cliffs there too, so it's scary walking. Like,
it's crazy. It's so beautiful. That whole thing's.
Yeah. What's your next best? Where do you want to go for your next golf trip?
We got all the Pine Canyon boys. We're going up to Pinehurst.
Oh, that's right.
There's like 30 of us going to Pinehurst in November. You got to set it up early for those things. So that's our big next one. Probably have one before that in there, but that's our big 30-guy trip. We do Pine Canyon, does one every year.
Is that near like Charlotte?
You're flying in like Raleigh, I think.
Raleigh?
Right there somewhere. I don't know if they set it all up. You just show up with your bag and they got everything taken care of. But we just did that. What's Tiger's course up there?
Paynes Valley.
We just did Paynes Valley about 3 months ago. That was a great setup there too. All golf, just golf.
So he's getting his 4 golf trips in a year. You're already at 2, right? You got to
I try to get 3 or 4 or 4
in there.
It's a must. A
couple member guests,
Well, we get we get just the desert right there and a bomb
yeah.
But for a guy that deals with a winter somewhere and doesn't have those golf experiences throughout the winter, like fucking any Canadian should at least get 4 or 5 fucking golf trips.
You would think. I love the trips when you stay on property though. I love when you don't have to leave and you have to wake up there and you fucking
Trout National. It looks fun.
Trout, yes. Yeah. Do you know who's joining there? Scotty Hartnell will be.
Is he?
Yeah, sweet. He's gonna be in there. There's our hook up there.
What do you think Treader's dinging him? What does it cost to get him?
What he's dinging him?
It's a lot.
Oh, baby.
Yeah,
$250
more in Big Canyons.
$1 million
bucks.
He right off our top. Fuck,
he didn't get like a.
That was it. $1 million.
And is that equity or just?
I don't know on that. It didn't get him. But he was on that last ski trip with us, and he was telling us he's
He's still got the first dive he's ever made.
Oh, I know.
And he made lots.
Yeah.
He made a ton, but
it does look sick. But I mean, that's only open, right? It's only open.
It's not even open yet, but that's
no. But I mean, even when it's rolling,
Valley, so it's open. It might be open all year, but it's not really playable all year.
Yeah,
and it's a full destination. You got to go stay there because it's out in the fucking.
Yeah, I think from his house,
I like that.
Where Marie is, I think he said it's like 45 minutes to an hour drive. Or from Voorhees, maybe, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's where the practice
He lives in Voorhees.
Something like that.
That's actually where Pine Valley is too. But this is kind of out in the States.
Yeah. So I don't know. He's excited about it anyway. I mean, it's going to be nasty.
$1 million.
Yeah. That's the
Does
joke.
that make you feel better about Big Canyon?
Oh, this is a real fucking golf course. Like,
No, it's
I don't want to chirp like the Grove, but the Grove in $1 million is not the golf experience you want. It's the hang you.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Truly
The
hang.
Grove though is so sick to be there.
But like the golf, you want like a full, like every shot looking like masterpiece.
yes, and that's what I think this will.
Yeah.
So
Nah, the Grove though, you walk in there, you're fucking hanging out with obviously MJ and Chef
the
and
hang
fucking
is-
Justin Thomas and fucking McElroy and fucking
Yeah.
Gretz, and you're like, holy fuck, what's good?
Yeah.
Is it that?
It's good real estate in there.
Yeah, and I don't mind the course. What it's just too flat for you or what?
Yeah. It's
I didn't make a par the one fucking front nine the one time. It was pretty challenging, I thought. But me, Gretz, and Mess, I said, Gretz, I didn't make a par. I go, that sums up my NHL career. He goes, you weren't that fucking good. And then we get to 10, and I remember, now we know Mess a little bit more. We didn't know Mess at the time, and he was kind of being a competitor out there. Like, he was, he's a competitor. Like, now that I know him, I get it. Like, and on 10T, I finally went like, hey, Mess, how was that China? How was the China Palace back in the day or whatever it was called? And he's like, whoa, fuck, was it good? Hey,
is that the old club back in the
China Club, not China's Palace. Yeah, China Club. That's where all the boys went back in the day. He just looked on 10T. Oh, fuck, was it good back in the day for the boys?
It's like a little wink across the fairway.
And then I looked up, and there was a fucking stormer brewing. I said, keep coming, honey. Keep coming, because I didn't want to keep playing. And fucking the skies opened up, thank God. And then we went in there and watched MJ play cards with one of our buddies and just fucking take him to the cleaners. It was actually
It's a good.
fun to
I
watch.
played our game for like 5 hours. It's crazy. It was nuts.
Have you played the Grove?
No, I never played that.
Yeah. It's
That's
a
the
great.
same thing you said. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a great spot, great hang. It's
What about like
cool.
Seminole? Have you ever played Seminole in Florida?
I've
Or
never played really
Medalist?
any golf
Yeah.
in Florida. I've never got out there, so that's one of my.
Have you played any of those courses?
No, I was in Florida, but I played Medalist. Yeah. The Bears Club. I played, you played Doral and all that stuff down there. I played Indian Creek.
Me and Loops played Durrell after a night out in Miami and fucked the Blue Monster guy. The Blue Monster bite back on the boys. I remember I hit my first drive on one. It must have been 3 feet in the rough. We couldn't find the ball. I'm like, Loops, this could be a long fucking 18 holes here, buddy. Should we just turn back or what? Like, we hadn't been to bed. I'll never forget, too, one time Loops came down to Tampa. We missed the playoffs at Edmonton, and we were playing Innsbruck, where they do the TPC.
One of the hardest tracks.
Yeah, the old rattlesnake, they call it, or whatever. Snake pit, they call it. And we get to 9. It's me, Loops, and Blow Dry Lombardo. And Loops goes, I'm done, boys. I'm heading home. And this is before Uber. So he jumps in a cab. Me and fucking Blow Dry go play 9 more holes. Probably grab something to eat after. To drive back to Tampa. I pull in my condo and I see this taxi come pulling up. And I go, no fucking chance. And there it is, Lupo getting out of the taxi. 3 hours later, I go, where'd he take you? He goes, fuck, I didn't know where I was going. I fell asleep. Next thing you know, I'm like, how much did it cost you? He's like, I don't even know. Open the door. So it took him. We finished the back 9 and had a beer and something to eat and came back. I went, no way, that's Lupo. And sure enough, there he came pulling his head out.
To Tampa.
Yeah.
Fell asleep in the car. They drove him around
Yeah.
a few hours.
Yeah, I think so. So that's a great little, if you're looking for a good trip too, that's a cool resort. It's has you almost feel like you're not in Florida, like North Carolina. There's like 4 courses. You stay right there. It's pretty solid too. But for me, the next trip I want to do, boys, is, and I've been in Billy Quinn's ear about it, is I want to do those Scotland courses, like all the good ones, like St. Andrews, Turnberry, although Turnberry just got put through the ringer. They just put Turnberry through the ringer.
What about the Trump one over there? It's supposed to be sick.
Turnberry.
Is that
Yeah. Did you see what just happened to it though?
when they
Yeah, it's vandalizing. Carnoustie, I want to play. I just want to go down and see where that John Vandevelt fucking had the meltdown of all meltdowns. Remember that?
down in the creek down there?
Oh yeah, buddy, fucking get out of there, bro. But I just want to play those tracks. The St. Andrews, I want to get drunk at the St. Andrews bar, and
That'd be a good trip.
be a great trip. But you got to do that one right too.
Yeah, I'd be all over that one.
What about Augusta, boys? How the fuck are we ever gonna get on Augusta here? Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that our heads together, eh?
After I had dinner with one of our, Richie Schmucks isn't mad. Right? So Schmucker had dinner with us last week here in Newport, and he was saying that he was on this, actually, it was a great charity auction done online for some guys from Phoenix, actually.
Okay.
And all these were golf ones. So it was Foursome at Pinehurst, Foursome at fucking, Troubadour, but they're like really high-end golf courses. And I was like, is Augusta on there? He's like, no, but my buddy just played it. $80,000 one round.
I was like,
I thought it was
he bought it like an auction or like,
Oh, you can play with their members, but it's high.
ding 80 G.
80 G's.
What, for a foursome
play
or one guy?
One guy.
Holy fuck.
That's not the budget.
No, I was always told it was 10, 15 grand a guy, and a member's allowed to take out a certain amount of guests a year. So they'll use that to pay like that.
Pay their dues.
Yeah, that's some of the local guys that have been there forever. That's their income. Anyway.
Jeez.
Wow, there now. It's a steep price. So anyway, Schmucker was bidding on like foursomes. They were like probably 15 grand. Some courses, like a lot of good Canadian golf courses, like Glen Abbey was on there.
Yeah. Didn't you guys get Jovo foursome to Augusta for his retirement or something?
That's true. Doan got it for him. And I don't know.
That's a hell of a gift.
That's a real nice gift.
I give Donor a call right now.
He's his brother. I think it was a twosome. You got a twosome of it.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
But I mean, that's...
I want to go there. I want to stay in Butler Cabin where the amateurs stay. Put me on the old fucking double bed. Let me open the window, get a little breeze in here. The old Georgia Pines, get going through there.
Arioli just played it this week.
Oh, yeah?
Last week.
There you go. Who's he know?
Probably everybody. Matt Ryan should be a member. He played in Atlanta forever.
Matty Ice won't text me back.
I guess Peyton's getting in, and Eli. I heard the two brothers are getting in.
Yeah.
I'm telling all this on. But I heard that they're...
I think it's all right. No?
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah.
I heard that they were next up to get memberships. They both hold out. Good for them, brothers.
Fortunately, I don't know those guys either. That doesn't help me get on Augusta at all here. But, I mean...
You can reach out, DM them.
Yeah, okay, do what you do. But, boys, I'm looking forward to Pebble. Thank you to the boys at Big Canyon. It's going to be great. One of the best pictures ever is Dennis Shannon last year after the tournament. Golf shoes still on. Suit jacket on, cigar standing right under the plane, like smoking a cigar right under the plane. And we're like, right under the jet. We're like, look at Shannon, you fucking beauty. He's just smoking the cigar right on the fucking runway. So, boys, I'm looking forward to it. Fellas, you ever lift a little too hard or just forget to apply your deodorant and get hit by a truckload of BO from all directions? Does that 3-in-1 shampoo leave you needing a second shower just a few hours after the first? From the founders of Lumi, Mando whole body deodorant is helping men conquer their odor in a new way. Formulated with mandelic acid, Mando has long-lasting 72-hour odor control that actually stops odor before it starts. Best part is you can put Mando everywhere. Pits, packages, feet, skin folds, back, knees, everywhere. To top it off, Mando's cologne quality scents were created with men in mind. Pro tip, try their best-selling scent, Bourbon Leather. It's a game changer. Once you experience fresher underarms, a fresher package, and fresher feet, you'll never go back. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code and link. Use code CURFEW at shopmando.com. Shopmando.com. Fellas, Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code CURFEW at shopmando.com. Shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Welcome back to Missin Curfew, DraftKings top titty fella. Shout out to the winner, Colts 24-30, had 157 points. But more importantly, our boy Richardson, third place, 143 points. Yeah. Congratulations, fella. Who'd you have in your lineup here? Let me check mine, all right?
I had Dustin Wolf in there, got a shutout for me.
You love that. Hey, by the way, he's kicking, man.
Look at this. Who do I have in there? Celebrini put up 30, Wyatt Johnson 11, Nietzsche 17, Caulfield 13, Duran 14, Tabe 7,
guys in there.
Drew Doughty 14, Dustin Wolf 28, and Dadenoff, my last little ounce of money. Only got me 7 points, but that was didn't have much.
That helps.
The fuck is he playing now? Vegas? No, where's Dadenoff playing?
Dallas,
that's right.
I had $230 or something left, and I got him.
How boy? Well, see, that's
$20.
No, but that's what's kind of fun about top titties. You get down to the nitty gritty. You're like, how am I going to
get you a couple points? I usually put in the guys that don't even play. because you don't know if they're not in the lineup.
Yeah, exactly right. But
You
I
take
was hoping he just has a cookie or something.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I took Nate Dogg, Kopitar. Nate Dogg had 24, Kopitar 11. Then it got thin. Jamie Benn had a good night for me. I took Cale Makar, Falk, Blackwood, Charlie Coyle. I was 29th. The captain Brento finished 26th. Princey 23rd. Kyle 38th. What happened there, buddy? Just a little, still thinking about your Hurricanes and you couldn't sign Ranton and you couldn't put the team in or what?
Exactly. Just some depression set in over the weekend, and the picks were hard.
I love it, Richie. Richie, see, you get the app figured out. You're in there. You're making money now.
He told me how to get it there.
You're making the money now. So, in all seriousness, boys, get in the game. DraftKings top titty. Stay under the salary cap. Lots of good games, and the more beauties that play, the more money up for grabs. Which brings us on, speaking of money up for grabs, the DraftKings lock of the night, buddy. Fellas. The Missin Curfew squad over the years 38-22. So we're making the boys money. Updog had a tough loss last week. I was watching the game ups, and the Bruins had nobody coming off the deadline, and Swayman absolutely kicked, and they just found a way to win it late. It was almost like those, remember, boys, when you're playing an exhibition game and the one team has everyone and the other team has no one, and they end up, finding a way to lose. It almost had that feel to it, but so Updog, you get the first pick, fella.
Thanks.
Who you like in your DraftKings lock of the night?
For some reason, we getting these first picks every week. That sucks. Little afternooner in Buffalo, Stinky Buff. And I'm taking the Las Vegas Golden Knights, 38-19-6, going in to sneak a little a Saturday afternoon win off these Buffalo Sabres, who are just stinky. But that's my listen, I need to bounce back. What's my record right now? My record's
9-8.
9-8.
You're 9-8.
I'm going. That's playoff style. I'm still going.
You're battling for a playoff spot. You're in the mix.
So there we go. I got Vegas. Come on. I'm going to know early if it wins or not. If not, I'm doubling down like a real true degenerate. I'll be doubling down and taking someone else after one of your guys' bets. But yeah, that's my lock of the weekend.
I love it. Richie, what do you got, fella? Richie's 5-4 in the year.
5-4. I don't love it either. I need one. Fucking rough year. I'm going to pick the Tampa Bay Lightning in Boston. Boston just has got nothing going on. Get Sweeney out of there. But I'm going to take the Lightning. They're picking up their game, and should be a lock.
Yeah, you know what? I like that too, because they're going to not forget how last week they fucked the Updog, right? The Bruins came in there and beat them, and you know how that goes, right? You go back in their barn the next week. Let's not forget they just beat us 4-0 at home here. That's cool.
These Boston just lost their captain. All this, there's some shit. They're not feeling too good about themselves.
No, they're not. That's rebuild city. Jay Swish on the year is 10-2. He had the Panthers beat the Sabres last week. He's seeing the ball well. I'm 14-8. I had the Avs over the Leafs. The fucking Avs came storming back for me. It was an unbelievable comeback win. But this week, I'm taking Brady Tkachuk, Travis Green, Dylan Cousins, and the Ottawa Senators in the Battle of Ontario to go into the big smoke and beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's going to be a tall task. It's going to be a good line. They're going to be underdogs. And I think if Ottawa can go in here, boys, and beat the Leafs, it's going to be an even bigger statement. So I got the Ottawa Senators over the Leafs for my DraftKings lock of the night. I love everything that's going on there, boys. I love everything that's going on with the Ottawa Senators. Steady Stevie Staios up to the GM box looking good. Greener behind the bench. I'll tell you what, I had the game on the other night there when they were playing Detroit, and it's the loudest I've heard that arena since Heater scored. Since Heater scored 50, it was rocking. I'm like, is Alfredson and Spezza out there? Like, they're back, baby. I think they're back.
It's a fucking good team. They work their asses off. They play the right way. Yeah.
I love their black uniforms.
Those are nice, aren't they?
Nice. Red, like they look big and they look like
mean, eh?
Yeah, make it look mean. Make it look mean, boys. So get some skin in the game. Always bet responsibly, boys. Moving on here at Missin Curfew, it's the Jagermeister iciest shot of the night, presented by Jagermeister. Serve it cold or don't serve it at all. Jagermeister. Damn, that's cold. For more, visit Jagermeister.com and always drink responsibly. Here we go, boys. The other night, the Leafs and the hockey club going to a shootout. I don't like the shootouts, but I like this. Auston Matthews coming in, and look at that. That's the change-up. Dust it off. Booyah under the arm. God, he's got good style. That is the Jager iciest shot of the night. Damn, that's cold. I just don't know how he can just lay off it like that. Look,
If you miss that,
You look like an idiot.
you look like an idiot.
yeah.
And it takes how many times to be able to miss that shot to where it works and you look cool. You have to be. There's only 3 or 4 guys in the like. If Mitch Marner went in and did that and missed, so we'd be right up his head. He's on the milk cart. Yeah, but this is so sick. Even if he takes some ball, it was just. I guess it's a pretty high end shot though. Like when you really think of it.
Oh, super high end.
Yeah, like he's like
he doesn't see it.
No, he did the change up look. He's like he put it through his 6 right under the arm. 7.
How many shuffles did he do coming in there?
How many times did he dust her off? Dust.
Oh, that's a nice pause there. Look at how it's
So he like throws it up on his toe and like.
I mean, and you want to talk about style. Auston Matthews is fucking
top end, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, his skates to tongue ratio, this like laces and everything just looks perfect. I mean, I remember I sat in Dennis Shannon's seats last year, the ones you're sitting in tonight, and Matthews coming by me. I'm like, God, that's good style. That's good style. So I would say he's practiced that one a few times in the old shootout drill at the end of practice there where they wouldn't let me do that back in the day. You guys ever get allowed to do that? They wouldn't even let me shoot. Most teams like, just don't waste your time. We're looking at real shoot. Go down there and flip some pucks out. Go flip some pucks out.
Get in there no matter what. I said, fuck you guys.
You would?
Shoot.
Yeah. Well, what would you do? Go low blocker or what?
I used to say I got some speed, so if I get one of these in the
I
game, I
can
need
see
to
you
know
doing.
what
I can
hell's
see you
going
doing
on.
like the one. I can see him trying to do the Forsberg.
I got one. I got a Forsberg.
There you go.
There,
winner. My only OT winner on fucking. You want to put that up there? No, just kidding. Yeah, I did one Forsberg when I got traded for Forsberg. I went into Boston in overtime and scored on Tim Thomas like it. It was fucking nasty.
Timmy Thomas.
This is great.
You want to talk about this Benoit doing the Superman, then getting pumped or what?
Sure.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
yeah, but he doesn't even hit him after. Boom. This guy just starts the lawnmower on him. Boom, boom, boom.
I think he pulls.
Yeah, get the old Dan Hagel.
I would say this about the fights. The balance of guys nowadays is so much worse than it used to be. Like, guys fall over and fall down. It's like, fucking bend your fucking knees and get in there.
I don't know about that though.
You could have hit him with an uppercut. That would
Imagine
have fucked. Rewind that, Kyle.
Kesserling could have got him there.
Oh, right here. Watch. If he would have uppercutted him, like his chin is way out there. But Kesseling was probably like, oh boy, here comes a Superman punch. I better look out.
That Kesserling's a big boy too.
His old man's a beauty. Listens to Missin Curfew, texts me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
He's turned into a pretty good player too. He's really improved the last little bit.
Yeah, right. And he took advantage, throughout the course of the start of the year when they didn't have Dursey and they didn't have Marino. He played big minutes. So,
and he's a good player, really good.
You think the guy's balance in fights is not as good or not compared to like it used to be?
You're talking about Ty Domi and Rob Ray, or who?
I'm talking about that. And I'm talking about our era, Big Earn, fucking Colton Orr. I mean, anyone.
Look, these guys train for it so much now too, right? Like,
How about that scrap in the minors last weekend?
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that Lance been doing that for fun. But he's been doing that for kind of like
Tucker's balance.
Yeah.
Fucking guy stood in there and took him.
He's honestly 185 pounds max. So
he fought Big Earn in San Diego and almost dropped the Big Earn.
He's so tough, man.
Yeah.
It's like,
he's been doing that for 10 years down there.
His brother, I don't know, his brother does it too.
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah, they asked me to fight. I'm like, are you guys fucking nuts? Are you nuts? I would fought you guys in the show when they were paying me. I ain't fighting you down here. Get the fuck away from me. Like,
and they just
love it.
Chin, just keep going.
Love it. I know. They continue to right here. And this kid's big too. This Gower.
They fought a bunch of times. There's some of their fights are unreal.
This is a real tilt.
What do you think this Glant's making?
$50? I know what he's making. We signed him in Calgary.
What'd you give him?
I think he got $100,000.
100? That's not bad.
The GM loves him so much. Assistant GM.
He just sits in the pocket. That is what's called sitting in the pocket, boys. He doesn't even move his fucking head.
Not all defense.
No.
That's the fight of the year. Lefts, right?
Not even done. Now you, the uppercut.
How do you think his paws feeling after that?
Get an ice bag. Oh. See, and he's so good, Glenn, at holding guys out for his size, right?
Oh my God. That's it, boys.
Get in there, boys. Jesus, get in there.
Dude,
we got to go to Earl's after the game. Get in there.
You want to play in that game after that happens, or you just fucking
look at his eye. It's hard to play after you get popped. I remember Tarno got me with a fucking big right in my eye, and I played the rest of the game. I was like, "Fuck, I'm in one out here." It's tough to come back when you get stung by a few. But that was unbelievable.
Even the adrenaline after that, you're just like, "Where am I? Am I in a fucking hockey game?"
I think I'm in Siberia or something. Eh? Don Cherry when Kozlov got hit. Look, I think I'm in Siberia or something. But that was the Jager iciest shot of the night. Up, dog. Those guys deserved it, but couple clicks here, fella.
Absolutely, boys. Fellas, let's talk about Clicks for a minute. Clicks is the easiest way to have a premium typing experience while on your mobile phone. People love Clicks like us fellas for a few reasons. The satisfying feel of real buttons again. It acts as a case that protects your phone for idiots like me that drop it all the time. You can see more of your iPhone screen while you text, which is just a nice touch, because if you like Instagram like we do, then hello. Keep that laptop, boys, at home when you go on the road. Just a little less room in your bag that you need. This puppy is available for iPhone 16, 15, and 14 models, and just announced the Android just released this month. Check out Clicks at www.clicks.tech and get yours today, fellas. Well, boys, we talked about him earlier. The pride and joys of St. Louis, Missouri. Brady Tkachuk, 500 games, gets a remarkable fashion, a little 2-goal night, OT winner.
That's Selly's off.
Boys, the best part about this, the Sens fans just chanting his name. Boys, they know what's up. They know what type of guy they got as the captain there. But this deserves our little Clicks weekend. Hey, fella, 500 games, Clicks for Brady Tkachuk, fellas.
Well set up, dog. He does deserve a couple clicks. 500 games for him. Like, fuck, it's, he's young still. He's already got 500 under his belt. I mean, listen, you talk about the interview after. He was loving it. When he said, let's go, he's like, let's go. Let's fucking go. I mean, Brady Tkachuk's not paying for a beer or anything right now in Ottawa. I can tell you that.
Better not be. What a tough play that was there, though.
Yeah, watch this. This Stutzel's unreal, too. Watch this.
Nice dish. And
Somebody
with the running man. The little running man.
Tough loss for the Rangers there.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah.
Let's look at the standings here real quick, boys. Ottawa's in 71. Columbus 70.
New York's right.
New York 68. Red Wings, tough time to lose 6 straight, coming out of the Four Nations break. That's when Todd McLellan's like, what the fuck did you boys do over the break, eh? Come back, you lose 6 straight. Like, did you guys get a workout in or anything? But Updog, great segment. Brady Tkachuk, couple clicks for you fellas. We have Jon Cooper coming up next. Absolute beauty. Richie, we were talking about him. You just wanted to mention something that you've seen him do over the last couple of weeks that just makes him a legit coach. You know what I mean?
Jon Cooper. He's a different coach. He's the best coach in the world for a reason. Kucherov's not playing good. Turn the puck over. What's he do? Sits him down. Puts him on the bench. Makes him think about what he did. Then he throws him right back out there and he's the best player in the world again. Most coaches don't have the balls to do that to their player. They don't want to hurt their feelings, but Jon Cooper will.
Yeah, and it was great. Cooch took his gloves off, but I think when he really got sour was when the power play came up and Coop didn't put him on there. Then I think that's when Cooch was like, "Fuck you, fuck you, Coop." But
that's what it takes.
But that's what you do. If the coaches don't do that enough, the guy's fucking floating out there and just fucking put him down.
Yeah. I watched that game and it was 3 like bad turnovers that ended up going in the back of Tampa Bay's net. And like, I'm not saying I would have sat down Cooch, but when you're Jon Cooper and you got 2 mugs and a Four Nations and whatever, Calder Cup and everything, like he's earned that respect.
You know what stung to Cooch, and this worked in John's favor, is that Tampa came back and scored like a couple
right then,
right away.
Gensel
scored these big goals, and all of a sudden, that's when Kucherov's like, you know what, fuck, I need to be better.
I got to be better.
I got to be better for the team. And if not, now I'm proving that these guys, these power play guys, can go do the job. So, yeah, I want to be back out there. Yeah, it's just a good reset for your mind. Like you said, we all had all-stars on our team. Some can take that, some can't, but they all should. Yeah, should be able to take a little heat in it.
Yeah, and that's the accountability that team has. You know what I mean? You got to have that.
It's such a good message to the rest of the squad too, right? Like you can sit down, sit me down, scratch me, put me out of the lineup, but like no one's really going to be like, I sit O'Brien out. But when you sit out your top players and sit them down, every guy in that bench is like, I better play the right way. Yeah. And I just never had too many coaches that did that. So like I would have so much respect for them if they did. Now, granted, the Sedins never really made too many mistakes and stuff like that, but like, I could never see AV sit those boys down, even if they did make mistakes.
They're too nice.
Yeah, they're too nice, right?
They're too perfect humans. They're just like, yeah.
But that's where they got the cups. That's where they go to the finals.
You sit one, you got to sit the other. They're brothers.
Yeah, they go down together.
Yeah, that's
and go. If you not play, I don't play.
Yeah. You're like, fuck. Okay, both of you're done.
Yeah, those guys did everything together. I mean, they even have a fucking cup of tea at the same time with the bird.
Oh yeah,
they were watching fucking Game of Thrones together.
Yeah,
at the same exact time.
I know.
We flew to China. I was sitting there and I came back and I'm just licked. And I'm like, everyone's just boozing on the bird, right? From coming back. I look and they're just sitting there, like in their suits, still watching Game of Thrones with subtitles. And I'm like, hey, you guys watch this together? Like, yeah. I'm also wondering, this is like 10 series and fucking hours and hours of TV show. You're going to watch it together. You're like, yeah.
They didn't play poker, no. They played poker when I was...
No, not that trip. Trip.
I'll never play poker when I was there. They were just thinking back, watching shows.
Oh, really? Yeah, they played poker with... I played poker with them. I'm with you, Richie. Jon Cooper, the best in the business. We're lucky to have him. And by the way, a little cameo. Coop is such a beauty here. We got Coop, and he got Brandon Hagel to come on and do a little cameo for us. So we got Jon Cooper and Hags coming at you next at Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Jay Swish, friend of the show. We were lucky enough to have a couple beers with him in Montreal before the big game against USA. I mean, look, I got his resume up here. I knew this, but I guess I forgot. He's won everywhere he's played. Or coach, North American League, USHL, AHL, 2-time Stanley Cup champ, and now 4 Nations champ. Jon Cooper. Coop, thanks, buddy. I know you're super busy. We appreciate you taking the time. You're so good to Missin Curfew, my man. Yeah, there it is, eh?
There it is.
That's nice.
Stepping.
That's nice.
Yeah. Kobe style, though. He's got the sleeves cut off.
Yeah. I thought, maybe, come playoff time in the spring, you might need a short sleeve hoodie, right? It gets a little warm there in Tampa for you. I thought Bill Belichick style, fella.
Actually, I do wear hoodies in practice, but not with the ripped off sleeves.
Hey, let's start with the most important thing here. Back in the day with the Green Bay Gamblers, did you draft Jordan Smoltz? Did you trade Jordan Smoltz? Jay Smith, how did it work with you and the Green Bay Gamblers and Coop back in the day?
Yeah, so I think they wanted to pick me, but they maybe were picking like 7th that year when Coop was there. And
what year would that have been?
It was like 2009, I believe, Coop, 2010, somewhere in there.
Did you play for Newsy?
I did play for Newsy. So I got drafted by Sioux City, 6th overall. Not a big deal. Played 1 year for Luke Strand there. And then the team, he left. They were kind of brutal. And Newsy ended up trading for me the following year. And
That's right.
We won the Clark Cup. So I missed you by a year, but I had so many of those disciples.
Where did your brother play?
He played in Green Bay. Yep.
All right, so maybe that was
he played for Green Bay. He played for our team as like a 14 or a 15-year-old that year when you used to be able to play like 10 games and then you'd be like through to that team. So he played with me for probably like 10 or 12 games and then played 2 years after that for Newsy. So yeah, we were both there, man. Even my cousin, all 3 Schmaltzes played in Green Bay.
That's where the Jay Swish legend began.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
I'll tell you though, that was the league has really grown, but that move to Green Bay was such a great move. I mean, I'd been in St. Louis with an unbelievable crew, and I was really nervous about going to another league. And I went to when I went to Green Bay, it was what a game changer that organization was. Just the way they ran everything with Ken Walker and Brendan Bruss, Jeff Mitchell, and it was such first class. And I'll never forget when the final that year. It was crazy. We were down 0-2 to Fargo and had to go up to Fargo and win game 3. We won in triple overtime. Anders Lee actually scored the tying goal with 30 seconds left. They were doing a live broadcast about how Fargo was going to win the cup, and Anders Lee scored to tie it. Ryan Fern won it in triple overtime. And then we ended up winning game 4, went back to Green Bay, and they sold out the Rush Center for game 5. It was just, it was sick. Great. It was a great place to coach hockey, play hockey. It was wonderful.
Yeah, that barn was unbelievable. And I think you brought the defensive coach that I had at the time, Johnny Roger, back in the day. Did you bring Rogie to Green Bay? Because that guy was an absolute beauty. Oh, my God.
He is a jammer. All-timer, there's no doubt. One of my favorite pictures hanging up is when we clinched the big cup and I'm in his arms and he's classic. But yeah, brought Roger with me. Big part of it. He was the man.
Hey, Coop, speaking about St. Louis, sorry, Jay Swish, you won back-to-back championships there in St. Louis. Was Obi's Clark there back in the day? Did you?
Hey, it was Kelly Chase introduced me to Obi Clark's.
Yeah.
And I still go today. That's a definite stop every time we go to St. Louis. Yeah, Jimmy O'Brien and the crew. It's wow, great memories out of that place.
I've never been there for.
Oh, that's you got to go there.
I know. St. Louis was always a rest city for me, Coop. Anytime I went to the loo, I usually just a little room service or something and kind of put the feet up. I was trying to recover from Chicago, probably.
Yeah, that was St. Louis. Another. God, I've been so fortunate to work in some great towns. But you would talk about a hockey town. That's a big time hockey town, and I think they're the poster child for
alumni staying and then being a part of the organization, being part of the community, and that whole group of players there. And I think it's a big reason you see, like, for instance, Clayton Keller, in Utah now, and these St. Louis kids. And that's a product of, you look at the Tkachuks and Brown, and you just go down the list,
Fredericks, yeah.
All out of that St. Louis. And it was all their dads. They used to play. They came in and coached. They all hung out there, stayed there. And it's really become, like I said, I think they're the poster child for how alumni should be run.
Yeah, they do have a nice alumni program there, Jay Swish.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even that new practice rink they have there, they have an alumni locker room, just a great group of guys. I just wish I would have played more games there, Ropes, because they got some unbelievable dudes in that alumni scheme.
You're still
really
you're still an alumni, bud. It doesn't matter how many. You're still alumni, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
Coop, let's get
locker in for you.
Coop, let's get into the Four Nations, buddy. First of all, as your buddy, a guy that's got to know you over the years, the way you represented the country yourself, buddy, you should be so proud. It was so good for hockey. But I want to talk to you about the practices. I mean, you look back at a guy like MJ talking about the dream team and Magic and Barkley. They talk about the practices, and I know you guys didn't have a lot of time. I did get a couple practices before the first game against Sweden, but talk to me as a guy who's been around a long time on some good teams. What were those practices like as a head coach?
Oh, so you got to remember too, when you first come in there, so you're kind of jacked up and you want to see how these guys perform. And you're coaching the NHL, the best league in the world, and you're used to a certain pace of practice. And but I'll tell you, when those first couple drills went, I was blown away about how fast these guys were. And you know how it is. It's like the first day of training camp, so everybody's just buzzing. Everybody's so excited and it was kind of how it was at Four Nations. And the big thing was, so what I did is I would film like the practice drills I knew we were going to use. I filmed them in Tampa, so then I could, like roll them into the, before practice. But the problem was, like, all the Tampa guys, Hagel, Cirelli, and Point, were a little miffed because I guess I don't know. I guess I showed a couple clips or, some of the drills where the boys weren't executing properly. So I guess the Four Nations guys were giving it to them about the lack of execution in practice. But it was an eye opener. There's no question.
Coop, I wanted to ask you, and one of those players on the team takes a lot of flack, especially playing in Toronto, but when the chips were all in and you needed them the most, Mitch Marner made 2 unbelievable plays in that championship game. Can you just touch on the skill level of Marner, just even seeing him in practice on a day-to-day basis? I don't know he gets enough credit for how heady of a player he is, really.
Yeah, so I was really fortunate in 2017, actually that jersey behind me there, who Victor Hedman he kind of got on me a bit because that's a silver medal that we won a world.
He was letting you have it a bit.
He beat me. Yeah, but Victor,
there you go. Hey, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, he gave it to me pretty good. Anyway, what was I? Marner's old. Yep. So in 2017, we took Marner, Konechny, and Braden Point on that team at Worlds, and basically it was like, hey, these are young and up and comers. We're going to bring them on this team, but we're going to healthy scratch them and let them be around Hockey Canada and stuff like that. And all those 3 did was ultimately I put them on a line together, and I couldn't take them out of the lineup. And they were phenomenal for us, and they were a big reason we made it to a shootout of the final of the World Championships. And so I kind of had that was my first taste of like how Mitch could play. And now being in his division and seeing him all the time, and I've seen him in multiple playoff rounds. He, for a guy of that size, he's not the biggest kid, he's not the fastest kid, he doesn't have the hardest shot, he doesn't have any of that stuff, but blends it all together with his brain, and he's one of the best players in the world. And so, as that tournament went on, and you're thinking about players are going to play with certain guys, and I thought Marner would either be the perfect fit for one of the 2 Macs, McDavid or McKinnon. And, as it turned out, he started there, and then as the tournament went on, I had to take him away for a bit, and but then I put him back in the second period of the final game, and fortunately worked out for us.
Yeah, he proved me wrong. I was kind of all over Marner all tournament, Coop. That's probably the reason why I'm not the head coach of Team Canada, because you stuck with him, buddy. And I want to give you a lot of credit because obviously you came into the game plan and you had your lines, and it's a short tournament and things go on, and then you just started shuffling the deck. And what was the rhyme or reason, or is that just a gut feeling for you? Like I said, it's a short tournament, but I was really impressed with your, I guess, balls to do it and to shuffle it up and go with something else and try it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so much planning and thought goes in. If I could talk to you about the work the staff did, but mentally, who you're thinking of putting with each player, and a lot of communication went into it. I talked to a lot of guys, and never mentioned names, but the type of player they feel they played best with. I talked to their coaches. I did so much research in it, and so then you think you've got the master plan, and then all of a sudden you don't. And the only way you really truly get a feel for it, and that's why you can watch as much video and all these things on players as you want, until you're behind the bench with them, you just don't have the feel. And part of it is, when we were playing, we were a different team against Sweden and the USA the first two games than we were against Finland and USA the second. And we had to eliminate some of the risk in our game. And so part of that was why the shuffling went on. And, ultimately you get a feel, and you ask any coach, my gut's been a big time ally for me and over the years. And when it's screaming something, I got to act. But it's putting the players in a position to succeed. And so, for instance, Marner wasn't having the success I thought he could in a certain situation. I knew he could, and he had to scale his game back a little bit, but I just had that feeling Marner was going to be a big part of this, and we needed Marner. And he's one of the best players in the world, and he's so smart and calculated what he does. But you've got the McDavids, the Crosbys, the McKinnons, and all these guys, and trying to fit the pieces in the puzzle, and you're not always right. And so that's why the hard part was, in a 4-game tournament, you got to get this right, and you got to get it right fast. And fortunately, it worked out. And you look at Sully and the U.S. team, he didn't have the Tkachuks together in the beginning, and he didn't have Matthews with them, and he did some shuffling around, and look what happened with them. And so there was a pretty good chess match going on between definitely the two of us, and we did that. Ultimately that game went to overtime. It was anybody's game in the end.
Hoop, I wanted to ask you, so you see that goal go in, obviously Marner, great pass into the slot to McDavid, and goes, Cheddar is always better. But after that kind of little celebration, you singled out Binnington right away, and you said something to Binner along the lines of, you stole us that game, or you kept us in it. What did you say to Binner? Because he was always your guy, even in the moments of maybe teams or even, fans or media was doubting him. It was a really cool moment at the TD Garden there after the win. Yeah.
So for me, that was the most scrutinized position on the team. Let's be honest. I don't think there's any secret about that. And Jordan, again, was in my gut our guy, and he still had to prove himself during the year. We weren't just going to throw him in there and say, hey, Aiden Hill or Monty were having great years as well. But again, it was just that feeling that Binner at this time to start that tournament was going to be the guy. And we knew we had good ones to back him up in case he faltered, but he never really faltered. And you can sit here and say, oh, well, this one maybe was a little bit of a softie, this one was a softie. But in the end, you look at that Sweden game, he made a huge save in overtime to keep that game level before Martin scored. And, the USA game, ultimately we scored 1 goal. So it's hard to win when you just score 1. The Finland game, he was great, I thought. And then, at the end, we kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit, but I thought there was not even a question with me that he was the guy when we needed to get it done. Could be the guy that could do it. And, I thought that game was a really good hockey game, through 60 minutes. And, Binner came up big when we needed him most. And then when our chance came, we were able to cash in. But I just thought he should know. And I think in that feeling that when when McDavid scored, there's just so much emotion that just flies out of you. I don't even remember what I did till I saw it on video later, whatever my fist bump or whatever I did. Like everything is like, hey, we did it. And then I just felt a need to go tell a guy that really had a big part of it that didn't have the opportunity to score the goal and tell him how I felt.
Yeah, well, what a call on Binner, and that guy is a gamer. I mean, the Jay Swish was talking about before the tournament and Updog, and not that I was doubting Binner, but I was just, I guess I haven't been around him like these boys, and he did that. That gold medal game or championship game, is that the fastest game you've ever coached? Because watching on TV, I was like, even McDavid didn't look fast, and when a game is that fast to make 97 look kind of somewhat normal, was it the fastest game you've ever coached?
No question.
Yeah.
And it was, to be honest, like the Sweden game one was alarmingly fast. And then it just continued to go until that final. And when you're watching the best of the best of the best all check, because they were all checking.
Yeah.
Now you're getting tight checking. You're getting not a whole lot of scoring opportunities. When you get one, the entire building is standing up and it's just heart thumping the entire time. But it is, when we came back to coach, for our day jobs, and you could just tell, like, holy cow, we're coaching the best league in the world, and you could see a difference in the totality of the game of all four lines. It was remarkable. It was, I can't describe the experience from start to finish of how impressive not only the players were, but the city of Montreal and the city of Boston, and how they treated this event and the fan support, regardless of who you were cheering for, was nothing like I've ever seen. It was amazing.
Yeah, Montreal was buzzing. That city was absolutely buzzing. It had a buzz in the air. And speaking of buzz in the air, Coop, I mean, right from the start, the first couple of days of practice and all the immediate attention it was getting. And then, you guys start with Sweden, and out comes Big 66 to drop the puck. And the Bell Center went crazy. I had goosebumps. I'm watching on TV going, I love Mario the Magnificent. For you personally, what was that like, to see him come out, a legend like himself? It just gave me goosebumps, Coop.
Oh, my God. So I often get asked, when's your first, introduction to Canada and your feeling when you're growing up? And I remember, oh gosh, like I don't remember, 70s like I probably should. I was a young kid then. So like it wasn't till, that 84 Olympics, I was going to Notre Dame and Saskatchewan, and they would bring the TVs in when they were in the 84 Olympics, and they'd stop the games and watch. So you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. But the teams, didn't really win. And it wasn't until 87. And that's when, you're just glued to the TV. I understood more. You're fans of the players, and, to watch arguably the three greatest games played, 6-5, 6-5, 6-5. And then the way that game ended, you never forget that. And, there's certain goals you'll never forget in your life. You never forget Mario Lemieux. You're not going to forget, as a Canadian, Sid's golden goal in 2010, and probably not going to forget McDavid's goal in 2025. But, I've been really fortunate in this league. I've gotten to meet so many great, fabulous people. But, one of the Mount Rushmores I'd never met was Mario Lemieux. And to have that opportunity and for him to go out of his way to come in and do our starting lineup, that was a thrill. And then just the way that tournament went, to have him go out there, and as I was saying about the city of Montreal, he never played in Montreal, yet he got an ovation like it was thunderous, like I'd never heard before. And something it was like, wow, we're a part of something special. And I think that was the greatest kickoff to a tournament.
Speaking of Canadian legends, you had one on staff with you, Coop, and that is the real Rocket Tocchet. Rick Tocchet holds the record for most Gordie Howe hat tricks. to Coop, I'm asking you, with no disrespect to Mr. Hockey, should it be renamed to the real Rocket Tocchet hat trick?
Okay, so let's be honest. Gordie Howe is going to go down as top 2, 3, 4 players ever to play this game. Legend. Iconic. But how many Gordie Howe hat tricks did he have himself?
One, didn't he?
Now,
One, I think.
I think he had 2.
2, yeah.
So it's 2 at the most. And Tocchet got 18.
Yes.
So it's like, wow. Actually, you know he's going to kill me for saying this, but Paul Coffey had 9.
No way.
Really?
Yeah. Paul Coffey. I know, that's what I said to him.
I would have.
He goes, I was mean. He's like, I was mean, Coop. Like, what?
Yeah, I guess.
The only thing you did mean was throw the puck in the net. One year you scored 49 as a defenseman. Okay, that was mean. Don't take you as a as a mean guy, but he Tocchet got 18 of those. That's you talk about records that are going to be tough to beat. That one will be tough to beat.
Yeah, Tocchet is such a beauty, and we were lucky enough to meet up with you guys before the USA game, and I could tell that Tocchet wish he could have went out there and played in that game. But Coop, first of all,
so I'll give you a quick Tocchet story. So Tocchet's unbelievable on the bench. He's got such a great feel. He's in his interaction with the guys. I see like he coached Sid, their cup days and stuff like that. So I see the relationship he has with them. But when overtime came, it was funny because everybody's everybody's nerves go up a little bit, and he was kind of narrating the game under his breath, and it was hilarious. It was so funny, Tocchet. He's the best.
His reaction when everyone else jumped up his reaction was, took him a second to realize, I think, that you guys had finally done it. But Coop, I want to ask you about that game in Montreal. Like, we walk in the barn, we got a nice glow going, people are high-fiving. I mean, then the anthem starts, and we know about the 3 fights. But as a coach, before that game starts, and then those fights happen, like, how do you stay calm behind there? Like, I was ready to the whole building's going nuts. Like, as a guy who's got 2 cups and have been there, and the reason you're the coach of Team Canada is because you've been there before. How did you stay calm, or were you not?
I like, to be honest. So going to Stanley Cup Finals and playing the playoffs and all that is a huge training ground for something like this. And the difference is that the Cup Finals are 2 months long, as opposed to like 12, 10 days or whatever it was. This was a different feel because when you're the Stanley Cup, it's for your city, it's for where you live, your home and stuff like that. 4 Nations was for your country. And there was so much more that went into it. Just, it became much, much more than a hockey tournament. That's why 16 plus million people watched it. It had political angles, it had pride angles, and but when you're coaching a game, as soon as that puck drops, and it's hard to describe the feeling, everything becomes almost white noise, and I feel like you ask any player, like, you're in the game. So now I'm thinking line changes. I'm thinking, who am I putting here? Who's coming up for them? There's so many things going in your head. It kind of all goes away. But when those fights happen, it's weird because you don't feel like you're in the fight with them, but you do. And ultimately, you're just hoping nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things going in my head. Like, I'm watching Hags go the first one, and I'm thinking, there's so many things. Like, I'm so pumped up. I'm watching the crowd. I've never seen a crowd go as berserk as I did when Hags and Matthew went at it. And I think it was unexpected for the entire crowd, but even, for us on the bench. And, ultimately, you're pulling for your guy, but then you've got flashbacks of flashing ahead. Like, he still has to go back to Tampa and finish 2 more months. Be okay, but win this fight for your country. Like, there's so many emotions going on. You're like, but it was that was none of those fights were not. They weren't staged. There was nothing going on other than 6 combatants and competitors fighting for, digging their heels in the sand and fighting for their country. And it was you could tell the genuineness that was going on when those scraps were going on.
Coop, you had a great press conference after you won the gold medal, and a reporter asked you, "Hey, fella, what do you have in that cup?" And you said, "It's Canadian." So, one, what'd you have in the cup, Coop? Was it a little bit of whiskey? Was it some Molten? And did you guys have a runner, someone driving it across Ontario for your boys? Because that was, as far as I'm concerned, the best quote from a coach from a coach all year. I loved it.
It was Canadian. There was for sure there was a mixture. There'd been probably some harder stuff in there before the lighter stuff went in. Yeah, it was that was part of our post game ceremony too. Was making sure we had that available to us. So yeah, with the players, the team, and everything, we were just a bunch of proud Canadians in that group, and yeah, we made sure we had our fill of that after we won.
Yeah, that's I wanted to ask you about the celebration too. Like, you guys come together as a team in 10 days, and these guys have battled against each other their whole career, and then you finally get to the goal you achieved, and you're in there drinking beer and eating pizza and playing tunes. Like, how cool was it for you just to look around these superstars and just all these guys finally acting like kids? You know what I mean? They look like good Canadian kids that were so proud that they got her done.
It's when you win championships, and I've had some unique ones. The first one in the bubble, we didn't have any family or friends around. It was just us, which was a real cool, unique experience. The next one, we had all our family and friends, but there's part of it is like, not only are you excited, it's all those budding emotions, but there's also like relief to it. Like, we did it, it's like you exhaled. Like, that's the only time you get to exhale is after you win. And you want to do it with the guys you went to war with. And one of the great experiences for me was, okay, so everybody's going in, they're going nuts, the champagne's going on and stuff like that. And then the media is going to come in. And so now everybody exits, and because there's only like 3 or 4 guys that numbers are usually like they're the heavyweights or the goal scorers or whatever. And they go out to the media, and everybody jumps into the trainer's room. And so the trainer's room is full of a whole bunch of Canadian beverages.
Yeah.
And everybody's stuffed in this training room, the players and coaches, and we're just sitting around. And that was my favorite part, because then we just, what do you say, Jay Shush? Tossed it around or snapped it around? We snapped it around for probably an hour. And that to me, I'll always remember, because that was like our moment of togetherness. Because then after that happened, we went to the big family party after, and then everybody disappeared. So that I will always cherish that moment, that hour after we won in the trainer's room with all the guys.
That's what it's all about right there. You just gave me goosebumps, Groups. Just sitting in there, the trainers. I miss sitting in the trainers room with the boys after a big win. I can't imagine after that big of a win. But back to the start of the championship game, you brought in 99. I know how much he means to you, how much he means to the country of Canada. I've been lucky enough to know Wayne a little bit now. I say he's a better guy than he was a player, and he's the greatest player of all time. But I love this hat. Be great. But I thought that was a great move by you, bringing him in there before the game and just saying, boys, this is what Canada's all about here.
Yeah. How often do you get to bring in Mario Lemieux in game 1 and top it off and have Wayne Gretzky for the finale? I'd be remiss if I didn't say squeezed in Ryan Getzlaf into the Finland game. But you know what the irony is? The only time we didn't have a guy read our lineup that wasn't a part of our team was the game we lost against USA. So to have, like, I don't think there's anybody that's represented, that bleeds the red and white like Gretzky has in hockey and Bruce Country. And he, we're so proud of him and what he's done and how he's made us proud, and, how he played the game for so many years. And again, another Mount Rushmore, and to have him come in and do that with our team and talk to the guys, it was, it's a little bit of that out of body experience, and just how I felt about Mario and Wayne. And I know, I'm closer to their ages than these players are, but you look around that room, and some of those players in our room that are playing, they're going to be the generation that's going to be coming in and reading the lineup for a bunch of kids that are right now like 5 years old. And so it's just kind of like a torch being passed down, and it was really cool to be a part of it. And I thank Wayne for coming down.
Boop, my last one, transitioning back into the regular season, coming down the stretch run with the Lightning. You boys have a big stretch here.
Boys are rolling.
Boys are rolling. So One guy you added back into the mix, though, is Ryan McDonagh. How nice is having that big horse back there, reuniting with the team? I've always loved his game from his days at Wisconsin, watching him with the Rangers, into the Lightning, and now back into the fold. He's just that ultimate guy, isn't he, back there? He's just the human eraser on that left side.
Yes, he is. He's going to go down for me, and hopefully I'm coaching much longer than my career is still going to continue on. But if I'm going to find a better teammate and defenseman than that guy, I want to see where he's coming from. And you look at, I think the league came out, every team came out with their quarter century team this year. Well, how many guys in the league made 2 quarter century teams? Ryan McDonagh did.
Yeah.
One with the Rangers and one with Tampa. And that pretty much, I think, says it all, that how much he means to a team and how much he's valued, because he's not the guy that is, putting the puck in the net every night. And somebody's got to keep it out. Somebody's got to do all those things that don't end up in the newspaper. They don't end up, with the ticker tape, because he's scored 3 or 4. But he's the guy that every goalie's like, all right, when we're protecting the lead, who do I want back there? And that's Ryan McDonagh. And it'll be a darn shame if when his career's over that he's not enshrined in the Hall of Fame, because he richly deserves it.
Coop, obviously I'm a Lightning alumni, buddy. I'm always pulling for you. Since we had our nice team dinner out here in Newport, I just want to let you know you're 17-8 since you invited me out for dinner. So I just wanted to say, hey, I'm trying to do my part for you. But Coop, in all seriousness, how good is this Lightning team, buddy? You're rolling right now. Vasilevsky to me looks like the Vazzy of one year winning your 2 Stanley Cups. You gave him the night off last night, but how good is this Tampa team in your opinion? Or are you just gonna play it out and see how it ends up here?
I like our groove. We've got, I think we're talented in all the right areas. We have a goalie. We're deep. We've got, I think we're deep down the middle. We've got defensemen. We have some elite players. Nikita Kucherov is, to me, should win the Hart every year or he should at least be in the voting for it. And as you said, we've got the goalie, we've got the D, and it's just the one thing about the playoffs, and I can sit here and rewind to 2019 when we had the 62-win all-world team and we got swept in the first round. You just never know. And, did I know that after that year we were going to go to 3 straight Cup finals and win 2 of them? Sure didn't feel like that after 2019. I'll tell you that. But your job is to keep getting a kick at the can. And you never know. Just get yourself in. Don't wish to play anybody. Don't, give a rat's ass what place we come in. Just give me an opponent. Let's figure out a way to beat them. And there's oftentimes you're not, but sometimes you are. And then when you take it, you ride it. And I've been really fortunate to go to 4 Cup finals in my career. And like I said, win 2 of them. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. And you just got to keep, because only one team wins. It's 32 teams in the league. Only one goes away happy. And so you look at those percentages, it's not high. So just keep giving yourself a kick and kick at the can. And this year's team definitely has a kick at the can.
Coop, I appreciate you, buddy. You're great for hockey in both countries. Yeah. Okay. What do you got, fellas?
Just. Okay. Since we had so much Four Nations talk.
Yeah.
And because you're the glue guys, you're my guys.
Yeah.
I thought, the great thing is about, guests always get surprised. So I thought I'd surprise the host. So,
all right,
you got a couple more minutes?
Yeah, we got anything for you.
Okay. Hold on. I gotta clean these out because he's gonna have to use them. But none other. I don't even know how to introduce this guy. Let's call it the guy that brought 40 million people out of their seats in Game 2. None other than Brandon Hagel.
Oh, Hags.
Hey,
Hags.
fella.
This is the guy that everybody.
Wow.
Hags, how you doing, fella?
What's up? Good. How are you guys doing?
Good, buddy. Good.
Talking the coach's ear off or what?
Yeah, just breaking it down with Coupe. He's easy guy to talk to, but
Easy.
we were just talking about how proud everyone made us, and obviously you're right at the top of that, buddy. I mean, we were talking about that game in Montreal. We're walking in the rink, after a nice dinner, we got a nice little glow going on, and people are already high-fiving, and then the anthem starts, and then you and Maddie come out and do your thing. Like, do you look back on it still today and just be like, what an experience, or how great that was for just hockey in general, my man?
Yeah, I think it was unreal, man. Like I think you said it best. I mean, obviously you're not sure what the anthem was ridiculously loud in there. You already have freaking goosebumps already at the starting lineup, and then I get asked to fight. So that just topped it off. And like I think you guys probably already talked about, it was so good for the game and everything that happened for hockey, and then just that build up obviously for the rest of the tournament, but you're a year away from the Olympics. So I think it was great for the game, and I've never heard of building that loud in my life.
Yeah, I got another one for you, Hags. Just, obviously you got a camp to Tampa and turned into a hell of a player. You walk in that Team Canada dressing room and you're surrounded with all that talent. I mean, you guys have tons of talent on Tampa as well, but for a guy like yourself, when you walked in that dressing room day one, was it exactly like you expected? Were you nervous, excited? I just can't imagine as an ex-player putting myself in that dressing room with all those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was. I've been pretty fortunate, obviously, as a young player getting into the started with Kaner and Tays and Dunks and Siebes in Chicago, and then obviously the opportunity to come to Tampa and have Stammer. You go down the list, and then going to that dressing room, I think you sit there and obviously you're in that position now, but you look back at the history in the dressing room and what some of these guys and moments and stuff these guys have done is it's pretty remarkable. And that's what, I mean, me as a kid, I was watching tons of those guys and obviously still look up to a lot of those guys nowadays, even though I'm playing against them. But just, like Sid, for example, obviously the golden goal, everyone knows about that, the Stanley Cups, like that's my generation growing up watching him and do that types of things. So I think it was pretty cool. It's pretty special, especially being able to watch what these guys do on a day-to-day basis of how they prepare themselves, what they're doing after practice and stuff like that. I think it's pretty cool.
Eggs, it's Swish. You know what? As an American dude over here, it broke my heart to see the USA boys lose. But however, when you won, and then, I don't know, it was probably into the wee hours of the night because I woke up and saw it the next day, you posted that group chat photo, and that was just like the mic drop. I'm like, oh no, fuck me, we got to relive it. But was that something planned? Was it spur in the moment? Because that was so well played, man. I was like, oh, there's the dagger. There it is. I love the game within the game, and I thought that was so good for hockey, not only on the ice, but just the banter, even in the media a little bit, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, I think I think for myself, you see as hockey players, it's almost like we're trained to say the right things, or you go in the NFL and they can say whatever they want. And then the media stuff kind of just started, and I thought it was really good for the game. I think it was everywhere. It started a lot of things, whether it's what he said or what I said. And then I think just at the end, it was such a good thing for the game and the media stuff's fun. I think guys talk about it all the time. I wish we go back and forth to make the anticipation for the fans, for the hockey, for the games, that much better. And I think it was just kind of one of those things that just kind of finish it off one more time. And but like you said, I think it's such good for the game. I think a lot of us players seem that we're trained to say the right things, or we might be sitting on a bench. And I don't think that's the thing. I think we're trying to grow the game here and put it in a better place. And I think a little bit of that never hurt.
Hags, I don't think you should have to buy a beer or a dinner ever again back home, fella. And I know the tournament ends and you go right back to Tampa, and I'm sure you got lots of texts, but I think as your career moves forward and you go back home to Saskatchewan or go back to Canada, I think you're going to realize how this is going to stick with you forever. Is that something that maybe has crossed your mind, or nothing you thought about? But I think this game and this win and what you did in that game in Montreal will always stick with Canadians, my man.
Yeah, I think it's obviously a ton of text messages and you see stuff everywhere, but I think it'll be a little bit different going home to see all the buddies and stuff like that. But it's one of those games that will go down the history books, and I'm sure people will be talking about it from years now, how the game kind of blew up or took off. And I think we're just in good hands right now and on the right track.
Hags, my last one, I was just curious, brother. You were a 6th-round pick, 159th overall in 2016 by the Buffalo Sabres. You had a great junior career. Did they just not sign you there, or what the fuck happened?
Yeah, it was after my getting drafted. I had a really good year, actually. The year after I got drafted, and I believe Kim Murray got fired then, and he was the one who drafted me. I stayed it was almost a summer and a half in Buffalo because they asked me to, and I just thought, like, as a kid, it's the right thing to do if you want to try and make it. It's one thing getting drafted, but the next step is obviously signing, and then after that, it's finding a place in the NHL. And my last year, I don't know, he just someone called me and he said they're not going to sign you, and I said okay. And I think one of the player development called me and was basically like, yeah, we hope you prove us wrong, and best of luck. And it was kind of just that simple, to say the least.
Hags, my man. Oh, go ahead, Swish. Sorry.
I was just going to say, they've been missing the boat a little bit there, eh? That's so for the side.
Add it to the list, eh? Add it to the list, fella. Add it to the list.
He's got 30 goals. They're all even strength.
Yeah. Hags, thank you for doing this. This is a beauty move by you and Coop. But, buddy, thanks as a Canadian, from one Canadian to another, buddy. I was talking up that tournament and talking up that game, and I knew you boys would play with pride. And for you to go out there and fucking chuck them right off the dot, I was crushing beer. I was high-fiving. I felt like a kid again. So thank you, buddy, and way to represent the country, man. You made us proud.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Hags. You're the man, buddy.
Hey, boys.
Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Jay Swish, my man. If you don't love Jon Cooper, then you just, you don't know what you're talking about. This guy's just an absolute beauty. We've been lucky enough to get to know him away from the rink. He's as good as guy as advertised. He's been great to us, and that was a nice little cameo for Hags. So thanks to those boys. That was awesome.
That was sweet. Coop, I mean, it's as good as he gets, right? Green Bay through and through. And then everywhere he's gone, he's won Obi. That's why he's the best coach in the league. And it was sick that he brought in Hagel there, a little cameo appearance. Got to talk to him. Man, that's just a good spot to play as far as I'm concerned. Not only the weather, but just imagine being in that room in Tampa Bay. Man, that must be nice down there for those boys.
No, and it's a great point by you. And obviously winning helps, right? He's got his 2 cups. But, like, I remember, throughout my career going to places and coaches, I'm like, these guys are making it more difficult. Like, nobody wants to be here. This is, no one wants to talk to this guy. Like, why not build a relationship with your players? And winning ultimately does that. But that's what Coop's done in Tampa, is he's built relationships with these guys. They play hard for him. They respect him. And ultimately they win hockey games, Swish.
He just gets it. That's the biggest way to describe it. And Obi, to counter that, why don't more coaches operate like that? Is it that hard? Is it a skill? Clearly it is a skill, but I'm just saying, is it that hard to be a normal, cool guy like that can also coach hockey and know what buttons to press? Like, Cooper is just the epitome of that, man. Yeah,
and it's like hockey's a business, right? And you look at business, now that we've retired from playing, like, we don't work together and scream and yell at each other, or fucking, you don't want to talk to your business partner. Like, that's what hockey is too. Like, I get that sometimes a coach has got to straighten you out and you're not playing well, but at the same time, why be a prick? And why, make it guys walking on eggshells? There's just so many guys throughout my career, myself included at times, walking around on eggshells, not knowing if you want to talk to the coach. Like, how's that help my game?
Yeah, I mean, that was like my whole NHL career. We were just looking to get when are you sending me down? Why are you playing mind games with me? Why can't we just have a normal conversation here, fella? We're both grown men.
Yeah, it's so funny you say that. At the end of my second year in Vancouver, going into my third year in Vancouver, where I knew I was going to get traded, I finally had a conversation with AV. And I just looked at him. I said, why did we not have this conversation 3 years ago? Like, why did it take, 2 full seasons heading into my third year before we sat down, man to man and hashed this out? Like, it could have been different. Like, maybe it wouldn't have been, but instead of 2 years of you not talking to me and just sitting me out and not telling me anything, you know what I mean? Like, communication is so important in sports, life, relationships, everything, Swish.
Yeah. Sounds like we're taking over a bench. Who's going to hire us here?
Who needs us? Who needs us?
I'll take the D door. You can man the bench. I'll take the D door.
Yeah, we can make it work. Especially, look at you. You look like a coach today, buddy. All dressed up for Coop. I love it.
Yeah, always, baby. Got to be looking clean, especially for future Hall of Famers.
Yeah, he loves you. He always tells me how much of a beauty you are. So, Coop, thanks, my man. Jay Swish, I appreciate you always here at Missin Curfew. Hall Pass Media, Max Ice Pick Pickup. That was Missin Curfew, fellas.